All right, friends, it's Kate here with the Mom Boss Mentor, and today I want to talk about growing your team strategically. Okay, so this is something that I learned recently, and I loved the concept, and I had never heard it before, and it's called builders and connectors. Okay, so let's just take a step back, and if you have a goal for your vision of your team in 3 months, how big do you want to get? Okay, how many people do you want to have on your team? Now, let's say 6 months from now, let's times it by 2. And then a year from now, let's times that number by 4. Okay, so if we can think about our growth in a year concept, a year from now, I would like to be here, and you break it down based on the season. Now you can break it down based on the monthly or weekly goal. But builder and connector is something I had never heard of. And how it relates is take your entire team today, write out your team line, and find who are the people who are willing, hungry, and coachable. These are people who have a vision of where they want to go with their business, and they are natural builders. They're people who can bring people in and are willing to run with it. They're coachable, they're willing to coach and mentor people, they want the income, they're willing to put in the work for that income, right? These are all important factors that I think people underestimate when they look at building a team strategically. Instead, they go, oh, so-and-so is sponsoring, that's awesome, they're going to be my next such and such. But not everyone is a leader and not everyone is a builder. And that's okay. And we, as the upline people, have to support them and their people. We can't leave them and say, oh, well, that's their person. Because guess what? If there's a builder underneath a connector, a person who brought people in, but are not willing to support that person, you could lose a builder because they never even got started. And think about that for a second. If you did not have the support that you had when you came in, would you be where you are today? Now, when I first started in this industry, I had a friend who was a connector. My friend had zero interest in building a network marketing business. She treated it like a hobby. And guess what? She brought in two builders. And my upline my upline's upline did not reach down and support us as builders until we got to the point where we were naturally showing that we were going to be leaders. And so at that point in time, we were brought in and given that support. And so I think it's important that people reach down and support people and build that relationship strategically, because you do not know who is a builder and who is a connector. And some of the people you bring into this business are never going to be builders, but they're probably connectors and they know people who are builders. And so we need to continue to work relationships strategically. So I was talking to another couple, they're a power couple in Canada, and they shared their story of how they lost like over 60% of their business, over 60% in a short season too, like 6 months or a year. Now imagine if your team sales went from, say, 100,000 to 30,000. How would you feel? Probably like crying, right? Like, what's happening? But what they did is they just got laser focused on who are the builders, and they reached down and they supported those people and loved on those people and gave those people the capacity and resources to become a true builder and to blossom. And because those people blossomed, they reached down again and found more builders, and they got obsessed with these builders. Now, one thing that our company calls is core rank. And so deciding what your core rank in your business is really important, because that's what you want to get laser focused on, strategically helping people get to that core rank. So usually it's a balance between sales and sponsoring, and it's kind of like the first or second level in the company. So something that is manageable and attainable, but shows that they're putting in the effort. So for ours, it's $1,000 in sales in a month and having 3 people on your team. Okay, so 3 people that are selling about $500 or so, and you selling about $1,000. Okay, so in your company, what does that look like? What is something that people have to kind of stretch for? It's not going to happen without intention and strategy, but is also completely attainable within 30 to 60 days, right? So we want to help people get to that rank or that core rank as fast as possible. So in my previous company, it could have been a lead consultant or director. Here it's team leader. So every company is different. And if you're not sure, you could talk to your upline and say, what's core rank here in our company? And it might be something that they have never considered. And that's okay too. Now, what I want you to think about though is how can you support people getting to that point? How can you support teammates who are already selling 1,000 a month start sponsoring? Or how can you support the people who are sponsoring, make sure that they're selling 1,000, right? So you can create momentum by helping people with the skill set as long as they are coachable and hungry. It is going to drive you crazy trying to motivate and support someone who is not a builder. They're a connector. They love fun and free, and they're just not interested in supporting a team, not interested in growing a team, not interested in celebrating a team. That may just drive you both crazy, and it might end up pushing them away and their team away. Again, this is something I had to learn over time the hard way, and I'm trying to avoid you having to do that. So growing your team strategically is really saying to that builder, that person who has the drive and the hunger and the vision, and saying, hey, I see you and I want to invest my time into you. I think this is your season to get to this level. Or what are your goals? And hey, because of your goals, I think this is the season for you. So this is what I'd like to do for you. And in a book called Built to Last, he talks about this as well. He said, you can bring in 100 people, but 100 people doing nothing is not going to get you to where you're headed. But you could bring in 5 builders, you could support 5 people, and your team could become unstoppable. Right? Your team could explode because of helping 5 people get 5 people that get 5 people that get 5 people, and so on and so forth. Right? And so being strategic. So who are your builders and how can you support them? So I love the use of 3-way chats. I love edification. I love having special launch Zooms. I love helping lift them up and posturing them as like an amazing person that they are, and making sure that they have the confidence to connect. And so building strategically could say, hey, you know what? I think this is your season. Which week works best for you for us to play full out together? You and me, full out, 1 week. We are going to get you in as many 3-way chats as possible, or we're going to do like a Zoom launch every single night, or we're going to do 2 Zoom launches, or whatever it is, getting laser focused on helping that person explode their business. You pouring your confidence into them, you giving them that opportunity to say, wow, like this is pretty awesome. And them saying, yes, that's when you have a builder. That's when you're going to have somebody play full out with you, and you're going to see them explode. And guess what? In turn, your business is also going to explode. But it's continuing that connection and conversation and making sure those new people come on feeling supported, encouraged, that they're seeing the vision, that they're getting the reward in their mind with a plan to get to where they're headed, and so on and so forth, creating that momentum. So that couple I told you about that lost 60% of their business in such a short amount of time, guess what they did? They increased their business like from $81,000 a month to $461,000 a month in 6 months by getting laser focused about core rank, getting laser focused about those builders, and not stopping until those people had success, and then rinsing and repeating. Okay, so that's duplication. That is growing your team strategically. And that is something that I personally am excited to do in my business as well. So if you are interested in collaborating and connecting, join our free Facebook community, the Mom Boss Mentor, or subscribe to this page and shoot me a message at hello@IamKateMoyer.com. I would love to connect with you. I'd love to celebrate you along the way of your goals and connect as you explode. Have an amazing one.